Hi, welcome to my kennels. This is Kennels, and I'm going to be presenting Chris Christensen systems and how I groom Papillons with our product line. Come on in. I'm going to start, I kind of separated the products in categories of how I use them. This would be my show grooming products that I would use when I'm showing. Here is maintenance products that I use during the week or for different issues. And this is just some of the show products that I have to have the day that I'm showing. And today we're going to start with Pearl. She's a retired champion. This is Pearl, and we're going to do a show groom with her. Okay, I'm going to start with how I do feed and what works for me. I know a lot of people do feed with their dogs standing up, but I like to put my dogs in my lap. I turn them upside down on their back, and with these shears, I remove all of the hair in their pads. So I start with all the hair in the pads on all of their feet. Then I come here, right there I remove this excess hair right there, and on the rear I do the exact same thing on all feet. Once I have that completed, I go in with my trim on my feet, and I want them to be a hair foot. So they're supposed to look like a rabbit's foot. So you're going to go in, you're going to trim this like this, and then you do this side. You want to leave a point. I know in Europe y'all don't trim the feet, but we are permitted to in the United States. I'm not sure about some of the other countries. If they have a really hairy foot, I just want to finish this off really pretty so it's nice and smooth. I use this little face feet comb, push the hair up, and then I go in with my thinning shear, and I just take off what was lifted. And that gives a really nice finish to the foot, so it's really nice and tidy and neat. Then underneath the pad, this excess hair right here, I comb it up. Once again, using the thinning shears, I trim this out. Okay. Then on the rear feet, we want to go about 1/4 inch from the hock. Once again, you're going to do your trimming right here on this pad. Make a straight line right there. Get all your hair out of your feet. Remove all of this. Get your face feet comb this in the opposite direction the hair grows. You want to go about 1/4 inch to that hock right there with your thinning shear, and thin this all out. I do this weekly, so it's not very overgrown, but a lot of times this hair back here can be just as long as their furnishings on the rest of their legs. Whiskers are a personal preference. If she had a really, really thin muzzle, I would probably leave her whiskers to give her more fullness. I think she has a really pretty muzzle on her, and she's a really pretty girl, and I think it's more feminine to remove the whiskers. So I take my scissors and just remove her whiskers with the shears. I trim out a little around the eyes, right through here. That helps so they don't tear as bad, because sometimes that hair is going in their eyes. Underneath, they always have the long hairs under here, and I'll trim that out too. Turn her sideways, I can see where there's more hairs here in the light. And that's all the trimming that I do on my Papillons. I know some people do a little bit more than I do, but that's all the trimming that I do on my Papillons. Okay, now it's bath time. And we are going to do, as I mentioned, a show bath. So I'm going to prepare her, and I forgot to talk about nails, but I use the little cat clippers to trim my nails on my Papillons. They seem to work really good for me. was a type girl that stained really bad with urine stains, she isn't, but if she was, I used the white on her, and I actually put it on a dry coat. You wouldn't do that on a dry coat if you had a Bichon or a Poodle, but you do if you have a single coated breed that's not dry coat or real porous coat, then you can put it on a dry coat. So I do it on my males for their urine stains, and while my water is getting warm, I would go ahead and apply the white on white here just to get any urine stains out. Just gives it time. It should stay on for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is really a long time, but when you're grooming a dog, but at the same token, it works if you leave it on 5 minutes. But I've just noticed if I put it on a dry coat, I can get away with not leaving it on 5 minutes. I'm going to turn my water down. Now if it was the first day I was showing, I would use white on white all over her. The second day I'm showing, I would use my Spectrum 10 shampoo and my Spectrum 10 conditioner. I'll probably go ahead and do that on the male I'm doing today, and we'll just use white on white all over her today. Alright, so my water's at a very nice temperature. And we're going to wet this little girl down. Good girl. That's a good girl. Yes, it's a good girl. Good girl. Turn it down a little bit for her ears. Good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use white on white all over her, considering it's probably the first day I'm showing. And the suds are all up. Really give it to white on white. Yes, we will. Good girl. Good girl. I know some people use sponges. I don't like to use sponges. Sponges can have bacteria in them if you're using them over and over again, unless you were to use a new sponge every time. And I don't really like using the rubber scrubbers because I really want to feel my coat. I want to feel their skin. I want to see if there's any bumps anywhere, anything going on that I need to be aware of, and I wouldn't feel it if I was using a tool to do this. Now she has nice coloring in her ears, but let's say she had some red tinge in her ears, which is usually caused from the sun. That's when I'd go in with my black on black, and I would put the black on black on her ears. So I rub that in my hand, and then I do it in my ears. And that would get your red out. Now it's not a dye. Neither one of these products are dyes. White on white is not a dye, and neither is black on black. So they're not going to make white hair black. They are actually food grade pigments made from vegetables. So now I got that all good in her ears. But if she had a little red tinge, it will mask that. Now around the face, this is Happy Eyes. This is a Tearless shampoo. It is 100% sulfate-free shampoo. So it is Tearless. And they usually do this with a little washcloth, but I have to get my washcloth. And I can do around their face, and the top of their head. And I also use this on my puppies. Black on black, and I have used Happy Eyes around her face and her head. And now we're going to rinse all that off. And I always rinse till I see my mat and everything doesn't have any suds on it. Don't want to leave soap in their coat. It'll make their skin itch if you leave soap in them. I always figure if you've rinsed and you think you've rinsed enough, rinse a little more. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, because I'm doing a show groom on her, I want her ears to look their best. And I'm going to get thick and thicker. It's a pure protein, so you're putting protein in the hair where the hair is lacking. So if you needed more body in the body of the dog, also use it there. She has a lot of body in her coat, so I'm just going to use it on her tail and her ears. So put the thick and thicker in. And this product will last through anywhere from probably 3 to 6 shampoos. So it's, like I said, it's only going to put the protein in the hair that the hair is lacking. So there's no sense, you really don't need to use it every day that you're showing. Just maybe use it the first day that you're showing, then you're good to go. So while I'm letting that soak for a minute, I'm going to condition the rest of her body. And I'm going to condition her with the Spectrum 10 conditioner, which is this conditioner, and it's for your drop fall coats. Makes them have a really pretty flowing coat. And I'll rub that in everywhere else in her coat. These, the Spectrum 10 shampoo and conditioner can be diluted up to 8 to 1. Some people like to dilute. I think I just use a little bit less and don't really worry about diluting, but you can dilute it. Okay, so rub that all in our coat really nice. Rinse that out. Now, if she had a really damaged coat in any way, I would use the Spectrum 10 Hypro Pac on her. That is this product. That's what I would use. I would use it and the Spectrum 10 conditioner. And I've also used this and left it on overnight. And it works miracles if you leave it on overnight. Just maybe put them in a crate. You can dilute it also if you don't want it as heavy as it is, but it is heavy if you leave it on overnight and use it straight. But for really bad coats, I do recommend leaving it on overnight. Once again, I want to make sure I get all the product out. I have a leave-in conditioner that I use, so I don't need to leave any of this conditioner in her. That's a good girl. You were a very good girl. Shake it off. All right. Good girl. Honey, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I see you. I'm going to get you. Okay, got you. There we go. Okay. Now, I like to use paper towels to dry my ears instead of using a towel. They're very delicate, and I always try to get the excess water off my ears by patting them, and it helps reduce my drying time. Good girl. And I'll wipe her little face off. Now, I like to dry my ears from behind. So this is the Kool Dry Dryer. I turn it on low. These are my choices. Turn that off a minute. These are my choices of brushes. I'd like to blow dry my ear with this brush, the Andreas or nylon brush. And the reason I like to use that one is I have better grip from behind to loosen up these little hairs. I dry the body with my wood pen brush. And this is a finishing brush that I use during the week when I'm doing maintenance brushing. And this is the comb that I talked about earlier. And now the Kool Dry Dryer, it comes with 2 nozzles. I don't use either one of the nozzles on my paps, but you can use the nozzles. One of them is a big cone nozzle that's really for a larger breed, and the other one is a flat nozzle, which really gets the water out. But so anyway, I turn it on low. I keep her wrapped up in the towel. I like to do my ears first because I don't want the waves in my ears, so I don't want them to dry naturally while I'm working on the rest of her body. And I keep her wrapped up in the towel so that she can stay warm while I'm doing her ears. But I dry all of my ears from behind in this method. On low. Now, if she was a puppy and she didn't have much ear fringe, you'd probably have to use your comb instead of that brush, which I do use the comb when I don't have much ear fringe, because I don't really have as much to graft as I do with the brush. You can use your comb to do the same thing. You just got to keep the hair separated. A friend told me one time, when you think the ears are dry, dry some more. I kind of like that method idea. Okay, now that I got her ears all dry, I should put all things chicken. All right, good girl. I use the Precious Drops all over her body except for her tail or her ears, because I want both of those areas to stay full. And this product is a static electricity, to get rid of static electricity, make the coat fall down really naturally and pretty. You can use a lot of it. I guess you just saw I used quite a bit of it. And I rub it all in. The next thing I dry on the paps is their tail, because I also don't want the tail to be wavy, and it's wavy. You can use the Thick and Thicker mousse on the tail. This is the Thick and Thicker mousse. And you can also use it in the ears if you wish. I didn't use it in her ears today, but I'm going to put some on her tail, put it in my hands, rub my hands together, and I'm going to run that through her tail. Okay, I'm going to dry her tail with the same brush I dried her ears with, because it'll give me grip so that I can brush from underneath and pull the hair. Getting them completely dry. If you look on the surface, they look dry, but if you have your dryer on high and you go all the way to the skin, and that's what I want to see, I want to see all the way to the skin, you can see that I can get to that area. To me it looks like a plucked chicken, and I've noticed that I don't have her completely dry. But on the surface you would think she is. So what's going to happen if you don't get her dry to the skin is that coat's going to get wavy and curly and go all different directions that you don't want it to go. And I also want to see the skin of my dog. I want to see if there's any injuries or any little scabs, possibly a flea. And you can't see it if you don't get to the skin. And the other thing I do periodically is I'll get the Precious Drops and spray it while I'm drying, so I'm getting the Precious Drops all the way to the roots. Another thing with brushing that a mentor of mine told me, he said in her grooming shop, if she was to walk by one of her groomers and hit her elbow, if that brush did not fly out of that groomer's hands, then she was holding that brush too hard and brushing the dog too hard. So I've never forgotten her telling me that, and I'm always very gentle with my brush and with the dog. Okay, so I'll continue drying her. Okay, Pearl's all done. She has been groomed from head to tail, and we're going to get ready to go in the ring. So I'm just going to show you some touch-up things, cosmetic-wise, that I do with the Papillon that's going in the ring. First, we have Shine for Sure. It just does a beautiful, beautiful sheen on the coat. Also, static electricity issues, you can eliminate that. I don't overspray it on this breed. Some of your coarse coated breeds you could probably do a little bit more. Just a light mist. I really kind of want to avoid getting it in their ears because I don't want to soften the ears. I want them to stay full bodied. So that'll do a really nice sheen and get rid of any static electricity that you might have. We also have white ice spray. It's like a spray chalk. If she had ticking on her, she doesn't have any ticking on her, but let's say that she had some ticking on her, I would probably go ahead and use some of the white ice spray. You want to shake your can up really good, and it just, say this foot had a black ticking right there, you just spray this on that foot right there and wait on it to dry and then brush through it and it'll cover up that ticking. Then you have the white ice chalk. I have it loose and I also have it in a block. I like using both of them. So I would, if she had ticking all in her muzzle, but I still like to highlight even if she didn't have ticking. So I would go in and use my stick. You can also use this on the feet. And then I use my loose chalk with a little brush. I just got it at a beauty supply store. Tip it in there, and I would go and just highlight all of her blaze and around her muzzle. Get it on her nose, around her muzzle. Shows a little bit of tear staining. You can just cover that up too. Just go right in there. But it just makes the face really pop. And her blaze. Do a little blow to get any excess off. And then another thing is totally optional. This is a brown chalk stick. It's called Chestnut. You can take the chestnut. We'll just show you the difference in one ear versus the other. I love her coloring, but if you wanted it darker, you can go in with the stick and you can darken this up. And then do it inside the ear. Come here, Pearl. Come here, Pearl. Good girl. Good girl. Show you what the difference looks like. Just makes it really pop. Maybe especially if you're getting an older one or one that's graying immaturely, which can happen. Then you can darken it up some, bring back the youth a little. We also have this in black, so if you needed black or cover up a little gray or something, you could do that also. But hopefully you can see the difference between one ear and the other ear and the coloring. That's it. This is Pearl, and she is all done, and she is ready to go in the showroom.